Hi, everybody.
What's going on?
So we decided to do our first live today with Vet and G, Sips and Tips. And I really don't have a topic today because I'm just thinking of so many things. I'm thinking of so many different people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm really excited. Today is G's turn to acknowledge someone. We have a presentation and we're just so blessed. On next week, we want to honor one of our pit students.
Yes,
but we don't want to take the reign from who we're getting ready to honor right now. We just love and we appreciate her. So drum roll. It's up to you, G.
Michelle, Denise. I don't think you can see this.
I don't know.
I can't see it.
Um,
Michelle, Denise Dudley.
Yeah.
We love you. We thank you. We appreciate you. We appreciate your input, your advice.
Yes.
And just how the Lord has endowed you with his wisdom and how you were able to articulate and share with us. So we thank you for that.
We thank God for you, Michelle. We're excited. Yay!
You're the bomb, girl. You're the bomb.
Okay, so
also,
yes,
my beautiful cup.
Yes,
it's with me. It's with me.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that.
Purple. I like that. Stands for royalty. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Purple's royalty.
Oh yeah, I did know that.
You knew that.
Yeah. So couple things I wanted to talk with you in the audience about today.
Mm-hmm.
I got some confirmation on some of the things that I've been going through, and I do want to be transparent, and I want to share some of those things, and I want to share them in hopes that somebody else would be encouraged, and that if they're going through like a place of hurt, a place of unforgiveness, that this may help, bring some healing, bring some closure.
Yes, I hope so too. Let me throw this disclaimer out here, because we don't profess to be ordained ministers or experts or any of that.
You don't profess.
Well, I for sure don't profess that, but like my sister here was saying, we want to be encouraging. We're having a conversation in hopes that we can encourage somebody. Whoever's listening, I want you to be encouraged, because God is encouraging. He does that. So are you encouraged today?
I'm encouraged.
I share it.
I'm encouraged.
Let us know how you are encouraged.
I spent the past several months being in a place of worry, being in a place of doubt, being in a dark place.
Oh my.
And right now I can honestly say that nothing has changed about that except my mindset. And
which is a good thing.
Which is an excellent thing, because a lot of when it comes to forgiveness, the offense stays, but you have to reach beyond the offense.
Do. Oh yeah.
When Jesus was on the cross, he said, Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
Well,
it wasn't for the people. It was so that the Lord could go to be with the Father, and he wouldn't have to carry that weight. And so you may never get that person's approval. You may never get the closure. But if you make up in your mind that this is the last day that I want to carry this weight, this is the last time that I want to walk around looking like I'm carrying something that does not belong to me, you can go to the Father and he can make the load lighter.
Yes.
Because the word of God says, cast your cares on me, for I care for you. And so I spent a lot of that time feeling sorry for myself, I spent a lot of that time licking my own wounds.
I know about that.
I spent a lot of that time not having anyone really to be able to identify with that particular offense that I went through. Now, you can have a sister in the Lord that can identify with you. They don't have to necessarily go through the same thing.
Yeah.
But we all can identify with what pain feels like.
Right.
We all can identify with what betrayal feels like.
Oh, yes.
We all can identify with what depression and worry and doubt feels like.
It happens on a daily basis. It really does. It could be something as small as, for an example, I'm a bus driver. People get on my bus and they might say something like, Miss Gina, your music is too loud. Now that could get me. Now, first I'll say, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I'll turn it down. But then as I think about it more, it starts to bother me more. But what it is, it's not that it bothers me, because I'll even ask the kids, like, is this too loud? Do you like it? Do you not, is the air on? Whatever. I want my kids to be comfortable. But at the same time, my point is, it's amazing how one thing can trigger a river of issues that came from someplace else. And you're still carrying it.
Oh my God, that's rich.
We only supposed to carry a baby 9 months.
Okay.
So why, if God has given an expected end or an expected time for something to be delivered, come on, at some point, we got to be delivered.
Yes.
As the Israelites were at an appointed time delivered from Egypt, we need to be delivered from our issues. We got to come out of it. We got to come away from it. We got to lay it aside.
Yes. And I think you have to acknowledge it
first.
Yes.
First.
Yes.
Because that's how you get past it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I'm proud of you.
Thank
for
you.
acknowledging.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
proud
you.
of you for that.
And
taking that first step.
The coronavirus video we did, I wasn't all that pleased with it because I feel like we minimized some of the things pertaining to the corona, which is okay.
Sure hope not. I hope we did.
It's okay. I mean, that's just my feeling. And I'm still getting it from the corona. Like even today, I was like, God, I'm tired of wearing this mask.
Oh, you said that today?
Yeah.
You felt like you was wearing a mask?
Yes, and you have to wear the mask in the hospital, and it gets wet and it gets hot.
Yeah, that's correct.
And
I'm thinking of something else.
And I couldn't help but, because I had got a phone call from a believer, and she said, the churches, they're really serious about praying this thing off of the United. No, you know what? We need corona. I'm sorry.
Corona for me has brought some discipline.
And you know what? Corona for me has killed some things inside of me that needed to die.
Wonderful. I'm happy.
And you know what? Yeah. I hope I never see those things again.
Yeah. I just told somebody I ain't mad about corona.
I ain't mad about corona either, but I do want that mask off my I'm hot.
I heard somebody else say, honey, I've been in corona long before corona came.
And you know what? Some of us need to be quiet.
That's what we talked about last week.
What? Studying
to be
some quiet. Of us, and I've been checking myself more. You know what I mean? And I'm glad.
So have I.
Because who cares what you think?
That's what I'm saying. Ain't nobody dying for you.
I'm going to let them know what Who cares?
Thank you. It is for God we live and for God we die. And vengeance is the Lord's. He will repay. He will recompense. Let the good Lord get the vengeance. Yes. Let him avenge you. of your enemies and let him heal you of your troubles. He's both the judge, the jury, and the healer.
Yes.
Healer, deliverer, he's just everything. He everything. That's why we can do this.
And you know what I'm praying too is that we as believers, I don't want us to miss it.
Yeah.
We're so focused on what's going on over here that we're not seeing what's right in our, you know what I mean? Right in our faces.
Right.
And he's calling us higher. He's calling us to a place.
For sure.
You want to talk about stewardship? A place where we can have a spirit of compassion and we can pray people through. And you know what? This is what God told me. They're not going to make it. That's the bottom line.
That's what God told you.
Everybody is not going to make it.
Well, we know in his good book, he does say many are called and few, very few are chosen. Why? Because it's a broad
Come
way.
on. I was going to say why? Because you don't want to die.
And many are going in there. But straight is the gate and narrow is the way that leads to eternal life. And there's only a few that'll find that.
Only a few.
Yeah. So everybody's
there's a lot of folk in the Broadway. Binding and rebuking something that was ordained by God. Get into your word.
Well, I'm asking God to help you understand what you don't understand about it. And we're not, once again, professing that we understand
know it all
or have all the answers. If you lack understanding or wisdom about something, what do we talk about?
It says
ask God, and He will give it to you. He gave me some understanding about some things. That's why I can sit here and smile and jump on YouTube today and talk about my bus, my air, my music, high pitch. I meant to say that I want to say hi to the girls and the guys that are listening. Thank you for listening. But yes, get that wisdom.
And there's another thing I wanted to talk about.
Get that wisdom.
And I've gotten confirmation at least 3 times this week. And the Lord said, he said, my church. I think the perception of his church is distorted. His church is not a 5-piece suit, Louis Vuitton's laid out, hair slicked back, heels. That's not his church. He said, my church is full of prostitutes, murderers, liars, backsliders. That's my church. And he said, I love my church. He said, what's the word say? If my people who are called by my name would humble themselves.
Right. And some would ask, well, what does he mean by my people?
All of us. We are his people.
Those of you who believe that he is who he says he is. He is God. He said, I will be your God and you will be my people. So it's the people who believe that he is God. He wants you to pray.
And there's people that feel like, well, he'll never accept me because of what I did. That's a lie.
From the pits of hell.
If he could accept me the way I was.
Lord, and still accepting us the way we are.
Yes. Then he can accept you. Because trust and believe, nobody came out their mother's womb perfect. We are not perfect. We are pressing toward the mark. And I encourage you to press on.
Yes.
And seek God and ask him, who am I? And another thing he was dealing with me.
He's long suffering. I wanted to say he is long
suffering.
Yeah, he's long suffering. He'll wait.
Is that I told the Lord, I said, we're not taught to be selective in our place of worship. If your place of worship is not feeding you properly, if your place of worship is leading you away from God,
oh no,
and more toward works
and worldliness,
get to know the word for yourself and ask him. He will give it to you. He will lead you.
Mm-hmm.
He said, my sheep know my voice, and a stranger they will not follow.
That's what he
He will lead you to a house of worship. What I love about my auntie, she's in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Auntie.
She said, my church is so loving. And I thought,
for real?
Yes. And that's what
no, you think of for real.
I said,
really though?
I'm trying to wrap my mind
around that kind of a church.
Around that kind of and that kind of leadership. I'm trying to wrap my mind. And this is not to come up against the church, because the church has a place. And it said to forsake not the assembling of your strength is in unity. So this is not to come up against anybody's church, but it's to let you know you have a choice in your worship. Sometimes, you might feel trapped in, well, my mother goes here, so I got to go here. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. You have to pray and see where God is taking you to. Well, I don't understand the Bible. I told my girlfriend, I said, get you some children's coloring books. If you really want to know God.
That'll work.
Okay? Get you some children's coloring books. Start coloring and reading the little stories, and that will spike your interest. And then you'll be like, oh my God, where is that? That was so... Start small.
You know what I often tell people? I say, like when you're going through some changes, for an example, with a boyfriend, or even deeper than that, a bully, somebody coming for you in some way. Look that word up. Look it up in the Bible. Trouble, enemies. And then he'll take you right to those scriptures.
Yes.
That will give you understanding about what is happening, and then peace about what is going to happen.
And you'll be able to identify what's going on. Yes. I have a sister of mine struggling right now in the faith. And she should just look that stuff up about faith.
That's what I tell people when I meet them, and they say, I'm trying to read this Bible and I don't understand. And But you have to, I don't want to say you have to. I'm going to say for me, what I did was I looked up those words. I read those stories.
That's a good idea.
And I brought myself right into the story. Just like when you're reading a book or watching a movie. I put myself in the story. And I look forward to the outcome.
You mean like when David killed Goliath?
That's a good one. That's the best one. Because, honey, we can all relate to somebody pursuing us in a bad way, chasing you down, wanting to beat you down because they're
wanting
jealous.
To destroy your character.
Yes, indeed. Yes. And I couldn't wait to see how that was going to end. And my favorite part was when God let David know you could have killed him. See, Saul did all that pursuing.
Oh, yeah.
And David did all that running. Running, ducking, and dodging.
Yes.
But then there came a day of reckoning. And in that hour, David took a spear while Saul was asleep. Or a javelin.
A javelin. That's what it says.
And threw it right into his robe.
I could have got you.
I could have killed you.
If I wanted you.
I could have killed you. But the Lord didn't allow him to do that. And there was a lot in that. There was a lot said to that. Because he could have killed him. The Lord didn't let him kill him. And one of the things that David had to get out of that was that Saul was still a leader.
And still his anointed.
Still his anointed.
Even though you may be walking in disobedience.
God is merciful.
He's merciful.
He's merciful. He showed Saul some mercy.
Yes, he did.
Showed up mercy.
Yes, he did.
Took him out, in my opinion. But just to show you, I mean, this is what happens. This is what you can get out of these Bible stories. You'll find yourself somewhere in those stories, whether it's a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship, an issue where your boss, your siblings, what we're talking about, just enemies coming, people coming for you.
Yeah.
There's an answer, there's a solution in that good word.
One of my good friends bought me this.
What is that?
It's
Jesus calling.
Jesus is calling.
Okay.
And it's like a calendar, like 365 days a year.
Oh,
There's a devotional.
You read one of those.
I read one
Okay.
to you.
I
There's
liked
a
it.
devotional.
I liked it.
And I don't even know what's today's date. The
23rd.
24.
It's 24. Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Oh, you're right. Thursday, September the 24th.
So it's the 24th. So I'm going to read a little bit, the 24th right here.
Okay.
Unless you want to read some of it.
I can't even see it, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Is this
that's
where we
beautiful.
Might begin?
Yes.
Okay, right here.
Yes.
Love first. Okay.
Live first and
live
foremost in my presence.
Live first and foremost in my presence. Gradually, you will become more aware of me than of people and places around you.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. This awareness will not distract from your relationships with others. Instead, it will increase your ability to give love and encouragement to them. You hear that?
I like that.
Trying to encourage you. And my peace will permeate. I'm just having a little trouble seeing.
Will permeate.
Permeate your words and demeanor. You will be active in the world, yet one step removed from it. Now that's powerful.
Come on now. Here. Come on.
You'll be active in the world. One step removed from it.
And we got to die daily.
Line upon line, precept by precept, here a little, there a little. You will be removed from those things that you cannot stand to be attached to.
Come on.
Just a little by little, just be a little patient. And you will not be easily shaken.
Oh, I love that.
This is powerful.
Honey, we're talking about...
Who got you? I like this.
We're talking about being equipped in God.
Because my enveloping presence buffers the blow of problems.
Come on. His presence.
Let me let that sink in. Let me read that one more time. It says, you will not be easily shaken because my enveloping presence buffers the blow of problems. That's what we're talking. That's why it's important to study, to be quiet. That's why it's important to be quiet. Keep your mouth shut. Because his enveloping presence buffers the blow of your problems.
He'll fight your battles for you.
Take it in. Let that marinate. Let it marinate. That's marinate. I'm really, what's that word we always, that is
profound.
Resonating with me.
Yes.
The profoundness of that statement is resonating. Is it resonating with you?
Yes. Yes. I love this book.
You look excited. Now, wait a minute.
Right here.
This is the path I have set before you. I'm going to look that word up. As you follow it wholeheartedly, you experience abundant life and peace.
Whew. And they talking about Corona, and they talking about all these protests and, our city in disarray, our nation in disarray. And, I got a phone call the other night. I can't sleep. You're not the only one who can't sleep, but guess what? God is a God of peace.
And he'll give you a peace.
He will give you peace that surpasses human comprehension.
Let me repeat just that one
Okay, and then I'll read.
I just want somebody to be encouraged about a little more about what he said when he
Yes.
said, "This is the path I have set before you." And the
Mm.
definition of before is during the period of time preceding a particular event, date, or time. During the period of time preceding a particular event, date, or time, he has set this path in that order.
Mm-hmm.
And as you follow it wholeheartedly, wholeheartedly, you experience abundant life and peace. That's what we
You can't
all
even
want.
buy that.
You can't.
You
Girl,
can't even buy.
you said that
You
better than
can't
I could have
even.
even thought of it.
You know, and
That's what I'm
and
talking
some
about.
people look at abundance as in quantity.
Yeah,
God
right.
looks at abundance in quality.
Yeah, quality.
It's important to spend that
That's it.
time
That's it.
consecrating yourself.
Because God has the quantity. He got everything. The earth is the Lord. Everything belongs to him. But what about the quality of your situation or the quality of what? Okay. See, that's that Cain and Abel thing we're talking about. See, he appreciated the quality of what Abel had to offer. You know, it was humble, it was
in the heart of it.
sincere. Yes. It wasn't about, let me just grab something because I know this is what's going to look good. No, it's about the quality of the thing. Anytime, and we talked about this even in stewardship, anytime I meet anyone or whatever the case may be, and there is substance involved, I really appreciate it. Not to say that I don't appreciate other things, but substance goes a long way. It goes a long, long way. That's the quality for me. Something with substance, someone who has help me with this. Someone who has substance where their character is involved, where their conversation is involved, whatever it is they're trying to offer to an event, a particular place,
Right.
whatever the situation may be. Where there is substance, there is quality.
And you recognize it.
Yes.
And you don't have to have a microphone
right away.
You don't have to blast it. You don't have to scream it. It's visible and it's evident.
Study to be quiet. There is substance in that.
Yes, there is.
There's substance in quietness. Because oftentimes, and I said this last week when we talked about it, quietness oftentimes speaks volumes.
Yes.
And you don't have to move your mouth not once to get that thing across.
Well, you know, what I went through, I couldn't talk because sometimes, you know, it escalates the situation.
Yes.
And so, you know, sometimes you can't defend yourself because that the receiving party, they don't want to hear it. And so you're just left in silence. You have to, you know, and you'll find yourself in those places. I mean, you will find yourself in those places because the person will say, I don't want to hear it. And so what can you do with that? You can't make somebody hear you.
Walk away.
You can't make somebody.
And that can be hard. It can be really, really hard walking away because we're used to that. You know, but I have found that the quieter I am, the better I feel, because that's part of who God is. He has a still small voice. He speaks quietly to the spirit of who we are. And there's so much power behind it. You know, people want to be powerful. Be quiet. That's where your power lies. It takes no energy, or how about the wrong energy, to just go on and on and on and on. And oftentimes you just said a whole lot of nothing. But it takes some power to be quiet and walk away. That takes power. I know it does. Because so many of us have not mastered it. We can't do it. We just can't do it. I just got to get that last say in. And like you said, it just escalates. Oftentimes, it escalates the situation unnecessarily.
There is an appointed time in God. Ecclesiastes talks about a time to live, a time to die, a time to
laugh, and a time
yes.
to cry.
There's
that.
an appointed time, and it's a wisdom in knowing when to speak and when not to speak. And so, you know, I just pray that this little tidbit helps someone today.
Yes.
And we look forward to speaking with you guys later. We ask that you would comment if there's something that you feel that you would like for us to talk about. I know we had some topics. We were going to talk about Boaz. I can't wait to get into that.
I know some of you girls.
I can't wait to get into that one. Where's my husband?
Where's my man?
Where's he at? Is he coming?
Let me go to church and see if my man's in that church. I know you're in that church.
So we're looking forward to. But if there's something that you would want me and G to talk about, please feel free to comment. Feel free to share.
Click,
feel free to like,
share,
and
comment,
subscribe.
Subscribe, hit that bell. You know what to do. You know the routine. And by the way, thank you for those who are saying your little prayers.
Yes.
And trying to encourage. You know, last week I got on a skateboard.
Uh-oh.
I had the nerve with well, I'm not going to tell my age. But I'm, you know, some might look at me like the old lady bus driver. I don't know. And I'm sure a video could be floating. But I got on a skateboard and balled myself up pretty bad. I got hurt. I fell. But I got right up. Thank you, Jesus. And I'm feeling a lot better than I was the next day. So thank you for saying your little prayers and checking on me to see if I'm okay. Yes, I'm recovering well. So I'm happy to be here with that and able to send some messages of encouragement out. And again, I say click, like, comment, and please share.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, guys. We look forward to seeing you next week.
God bless you.